Hey, the following message is a message from America First Policies. Gina Haspel, you know what she is? She's a counterterrorism expert. She's an overseas operative. She's been bestowed the highest honors for her service to the American people. That's our Deputy CIA Director, Gina Haspel. Now, she doesn't mess around, and she's under consideration to be the first female director of the CIA. America First means ensuring our intelligence agencies have the best information and the best people to take the fight to our nation's enemies. As CIA Director, Gina Haspel will work to combat radical Islamic terrorism while expanding American power across the globe. But despite strong bipartisan support from the intel community, libs in the United States Senate are opposing her. Putting politics before our national security, perhaps? The American people deserve a fighter like Gina Haspel. It's time for every patriot like you to take a stand. Call your senators today at 202-224-3121 in the swamp, 202-224-3121, and tell them to support Gina Haspel as CIA Director, Gina Haspel for CIA Director. To learn more about America First Policies, please visit americafirstpolicies.org. That's americafirstpolicies.org. This message paid for and authorized by America First Policies Incorporated. Joining us now, Dr. Mike Kennedy. He's running for Senate in Utah. They just had a convention. Mitt Romney couldn't get over the top. Now we got to find out what's going to happen. But if he's running against Mitt Romney, I don't even know him. He's coming to my show, but I'm for him. Dr. Kennedy, good to have you with us.
John, it's a pleasure to be here. How are you?
I'm not a Mitt Romney fan. Do you find that to be a shocker?
I thought that was quite clear from your prior statements. I'm pretty impressed.
Look, you're in Utah. By the way, I'm mad at the Jazz. I'm a lifelong Houston Rockets fan, and you guys kicked our butts last night at home. So I almost canceled you today just in retaliation for that.
Hey, now don't take it out on me, brother.
And now we got to go to Salt Lake City, where it's very different. And the Rockets had beaten them 5 times during the season, and they got a short lead there in the fourth quarter. And then I think the Jazz hit like 8 threes in a row or something. But now we got to win a game in Salt Lake, so it's not going to be easy. They're tough at home.
Yeah, and when it comes to me, I'm just working on winning an election. I'm not focused on the basketball. I'm focused on this election.
Oh, well, okay, so then root for the Rockets. Now, let me ask you, my listeners not from Utah, not necessarily familiar with how the nominating process is, just walk us through what happened at the convention and what happens now, and how do you guys pick the nominee?
Yeah, you bet. So the convention is a group of delegates. They're selected by their neighbors, and a group of individuals that about 3,800 of them showed up at convention. And we were, in spite of the fact that Romney outspent us, we estimate 10 to 15 to 1. As far as this race, we were still able to beat him 51 to 49, and he got as many of his delegates there as possible. And the reality is the people of Utah recognized him for what he was. And it's one of those things that sounds like you understand a lot about Governor Romney, and I'm happy to offer my services to the people of Utah. I'm a doctor. I'm an attorney, state legislator. I've been doing that for 6 years. I'm a conservative legislator, and the people, they need that voice in the United States Senate. I'd love to serve the people of Utah and the people of our country.
All right, so you had a convention, and you beat him at the convention 51% to 49%, Dr. Kennedy, although being outspent by Romney 10-15 to 1. Now, so you won the convention, but in Utah, that's not fait accompli. That doesn't make you the nominee. What happens now?
Yeah, so June 26th, we have a primary now. We winnowed the field from 12 down to 2. And now we go to a June 26th primary, and that's where we need to get our people out, and we need to get money to get our people out and get our message out that there's a person that's lived in Utah, raised his family in Utah, built my business in Utah. And KennedyForUtah.com is our website, KennedyForUtah.com. And we'd love to have your listeners have a look at who I am and see what they can do to give us support.
All right, so Dr. Kennedy, so the convention process you have, it sounds like you started with 12 candidates, you whittle them down till you get to the final 2 candidates. Right, so 10 eventually drop off, right? You have like multiple ballots, that kind of a thing?
Yeah, actually it was 3 ballots, so we ended up, so on the second ballot we were able to move us into the 2, and that's where we came to 51 to 49.
So on the third ballot with only 2 people, you beat Romney 51-49, even getting outspent 15 to 1. These are the activists, obviously. Those are people that show up at these conventions, spend all day there. I'll be at one in Harrisonburg, Virginia on May 19th, only because my friends have cajoled me into wasting my Saturday time there.
Good luck, man. That's a long day.
I know it's a long day, and I'm going to broadcast it, but Corey Sneed in Danville, Virginia, is going to bring me that stuff he makes in the bathtub. That's the only reason I'm going, or I would not go. It's in a jar.
Survive it. Good luck.
I know, it's in a jar. I don't know why he gets it in his bathtub or something.
It's medicinal. The doctor ordered it, so as
That's,
long as it's
medicinal. So I love having doctors on my show. That's right. It's medicinal. You're right.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of stuff that's medicinal out there that comes out of the cabinet.
It's medicinal. The jar is medicinal. You're right. All right, so you beat him 51-49, and now you're in this primary on June 26th, last two standing. Now, is it a closed primary, Dr. Kennedy, or an open primary?
It is. Yeah,
closed.
It's a closed Republican primary. So we're marketing our messages to all those good Republicans out there in the state of Utah, which happens to be the majority of the state.
All right, so Moneybags Romney's going to spend a lot of money. Are you going to raise enough money to compete?
Yeah, that's what we're out doing. I'm in Washington, D.C. right now talking to the parties that would be our allies, and we're working on getting alliances in Washington, D.C. so that we can get the money that we need to push our message forward. The reality is we can't outraise Romney, as you well know. He's got lots of money lying around from his presidential campaigns, and so we're raising enough money to be relevant. The reality is once people get the message and they come our side, they just need to know there's a doctor, an attorney, and somebody that's lived in Utah and raised his family there that is their alternative. And once they find that, then they're actually swinging our way, just as they did in convention. I expect it to be the same in the primary.
All right, I'm excited about it. Now, here's the deal for our listeners. Go to KennedyForUtah.com. Kennedy for Utah. Now, we seldom ask people to contribute, but he's got a contribute button here. I don't care if you send $5. Okay, send a message. Send 10, send 15. I'm going to send 25 as soon as I get to the top of the hour. Send $25, right? You've got $25. You've got to help this guy get the nomination. Could you imagine getting a Dr. Kennedy as a Republican from Utah supporting the president instead of that weasel, never Trumper Mitt Romney that you know is going to run to CNN and run to the networks every time Trump does something, and it'll be like Junior John McCain, whining and complaining. Okay, that's what he's going to do. He's going to be a thorn. I don't care what he says. He's going to be a thorn in our side for 6 years. Everything the president does, he's going to come on as the statesman from Massachusetts, and he's going to blast the president, and he's got the moral authority. He is going to drive you nuts and get nothing done for us but hurt the cause. So if you're a Trump supporter, go to KennedyForUtah.com, hit the contribute button, and send him $25, $50, whatever you can afford to do it now. Because you know what? You're going to spend the money on something, right? Do you really want Mitt Romney in the Senate? I mean, he's going to drive you nuts. Now, Mike, I've said that. That's just my narrative. If you get there, are you going to support the president's agenda?
Most definitely. I've been so impressed with the president. I didn't know what we were going to get as our new president came in, but I support him building the wall. I support border security. I support the Trump tax cuts and the appointment of Neil Gorsuch. It's been outstanding. The president, now we've got the release of these 3 prisoners. It's so impressive to watch how the president has done so many things, and he's moving the ball, and he's actually he's done so much that I'm grateful to be able to support him. And as you can imagine, that's the way people in Utah feel as well. They want the president to succeed with his conservative agenda, and we've been really impressed.
Dr. Kennedy, are you going to back the president on trade and his tariffs in order to level the playing field with the massive trade deficits we have, and China's been cheating forever, and get our jobs back?
Cheaters, absolutely. It's at some point when you're dealing with strong men like we've got strong circumstances in China, you got to be a strong man to push those things forward. So tariffs, sadly, are economic warfare, and sometimes it needs to, just like the Syrian missile strikes, is at some point you need to push these people. Otherwise, they don't pay attention. They just push you over like Obama was routinely pushed over.
So you're going to back the president on his trade policies?
Absolutely.
Tell you what, I'm trying to find here something about Dr. Kennedy I don't like. I can't find anything. There's got to be something. But look, we need somebody in the U.S. Senate from Utah backing the president and backing his America First agenda, which many of us believe in very strongly. So I just got to tell you, we wish you the best. In reality, the polls show you behind it. You're going to get outraised. How do you win this race?
You win it the way all races are won. It's one person at a time. It's convincing voter by voter that not only is Governor Romney not somebody that our state should support, but they've got a great alternative. And so as soon as we get back from Washington, we're back around the state visiting with all the people and making sure that they know not only do they have somebody that shouldn't be in that seat, and that's Governor Romney, but they do have somebody that should be in that seat, and that's somebody who's from Utah and a doctor and attorney. And it's one of those things that we believe that the people, once they see that there's such a great alternative, that they'll move our way. And it's been a privilege, and we've seen that in convention. We're going to see that.
And your primary is June 26th.
That's right.
June 20. And where's your victory party? Is that going to be in Salt Lake?
Probably in Salt Lake, although I live in North Utah County, which is just a little south of Salt Lake. We may end up doing it in the hometown. So we'll end up planning that. We'd love to have you there, John.
Yeah, so if I go out there on like Sunday night, I do my show there Monday, you'll find me a diner or something on election day where I can talk to people?
Absolutely.
You'll set me up.
We'd love to do that.
And then I can come to your victory headquarters. All right, I'm going to send you $50 as soon as you get off the air within a minute. Go to KennedyForUtah.com. I mean, this is one of those things, people, you got to do. I mean, everybody hates to spend money, but if you're going to drain the swamp, what do you want to do? Get Mitt Romney in there? I mean, give me a break. Do you remember when Mitt Romney got on TV and blasted Trump and called him a con artist, right? Right after he won, the Florida primary, and called him a con artist and a liar and a cheat. Remember that? That Mitt Romney? Remember him? Do you want him back in the U.S. Senate? He will drive you insane. And he doesn't care about Trump's agenda. He hates Trump's agenda. He's a liberal. Go to KennedyForUtah.com. Give him $50. Mike, thanks for being with us. I'm going to take you up on your offer. Salt Lake.
Good to talk to you. Thanks for having me on this morning.
John Fredericks Radio Network, trucking the truth. KennedyForUtah.com. Send them $50. I'll be right back.